Hi, Susie Homesteader of the Rockies, and welcome to the Susie Homesteader channel. And today we're in thrift stores and secondhand stores, and we're in the Habitat for Humanity Restore today, which is one of my second favorite thrift stores to shop at. The fun thing about this store that you won't find in a lot of the thrift stores or the secondhand stores is you'll get some bigger building materials or craft materials. I have spent tons of time and quite a bit of money just picking up odds and ends, doors, windows, you know, all the kind of usual construction materials that you can get for pretty cheap here. But of course, another thing I look for every time I come into these stores or places that sell this kind of stuff is craft projects. So, you know, this could be a actual shutter for a window if that's what you want to use it for, which just looks like what it came off of. Or in my case, I would probably turn this into some kind of fun little crafty, maybe some like a little board to hang paperwork or clips and you name it. So again, we're thinking outside the box here, and we're trying to find things that we can repurpose. So let's keep walking around and find some more fun stuff. Okay, and don't ask me why, but I'm always buying doors and screen doors and fun little frames like this. This could actually be a screen door, or you could turn it into something kind of crafty like a message center, or something as maybe like a photo backdrop if you just wanted to use the frame and put some fabric on here. All kinds of possibilities, but I'm sure if you looked on Pinterest and you looked up screen doors, you'd find all kinds of fun things to do with this. So this would be one of those things that if I saw it, I didn't actually know what I needed it for, but had a feeling I should buy it. So that's another thing you're going to do. You're not always going to actually know why you want that or why you need that, but you might just have a good instinct that you need to take it home. And on that note, don't forget to make sure your car is nice and empty before you get here, because chances are if you're getting something this big in there, you're not going to have room for anything you left in the car originally. So make sure your car is empty, and that way you can get these little goodies home as fast as you find them. Okay, so we're in the sinks department, and I know you're thinking, I really don't need another sink, but trust me, I found a use for another one. So this little tiny sink worked out perfect in a playhouse that I had that I built for my one of my daughters, and all I did was hook up a garden hose, and that's a whole nother video. I can show you how to do that, but hooked up a garden hose to the sink in her playhouse. So, you know, one other thing you're going to look for besides an actual item, you want to look for quality. So, you know, this is a $25 sink. It's really small, so it might not, you know, work out in a actual kitchen or bathroom like it's designed for, but it is a Kohler. So, you know, while you're looking for certain sizes and shapes, make sure you're looking for brand too. So anything Kohler, that's a good brand. Like I said, you may not think you need it now, but you might want to just keep it for some other remodel or project that you have later. This would also make a good bar size sink. So think about that when you're buying or picking out your items. Think about the brand too. So every once in a while, you're going to see something like a countertop, and you're thinking, there's no way I need a countertop, but I'll tell you what I did. I bought a couple of these, and just because I like them, and this one's kind of like a really nice pattern anyway, but I will not be using it for the way it was cut out. But what you can do is cut it up into whatever size pieces you need. So if you want to cover like another table, or maybe some of the little small piece of furniture that you have with this kind of a countertop, you can cut that up any way you want. So if you see a pattern you like, even though it might be the wrong shape and everything, grab it, and trust me, you'll wind up using it. You'll find some kind of a little tabletop to cover with this kind of a material. Yeah, so light fixtures, ceiling fans, I don't know why, they're always really cheap, and they're not always that outdated. So something you probably didn't think about before was maybe just changing out one of your regular light fixtures to a ceiling fan, which I've done a lot of, and that's a great way to, you know, ventilate your house and different rooms that you have, or maybe if you have a wood stove in a room and you need to circulate that heat. So, you know, if you haven't thought of a ceiling fan before, there you go. There's a really nice one, 75 bucks. Sure, it's twice that retail, and you know, they always have ceiling fans, so think about that one too. Yeah, and these days happen too. You never know if you're there on the right day at the right time. Sometimes you get one of these little great signs where it's just free, free, free. And that could just be something you really don't want or don't need, but you just don't know. So right now, this is all propane fireplace inserts. Don't need one of those today, but you know what? You might know somebody that does. So that does happen. Look for that too. All right, here's my good find for the day. So this is a headboard or possibly even a footboard. It'd be nicer if we had both pieces, but this to me looks like an awesome bench, the back of a bench. So I've done that with several pieces for patio furniture. So if you ever find a kind of a nice little headboard like this one that looks durable enough to be outdoors, that might just have to have a little exterior stain put on it to survive the outdoors, this is a great way to reuse your headboards or footboards or any kind of a piece that, again, would turn into some kind of a bench. Okay, so here we go again. That looks like a picture frame or a craft project to me. So when you find pieces of trim or scrap lumber or molding and stuff like this, it's not just for what it's designed for. This is, like I said, that's like 5 picture frames to me, so, or any kind of a fun little piece of lumber that you want to put on another project that you have. So there you go, there's another idea. Okay, so here's a great example of somebody who actually probably made this at home from the looks of it, and just plain old didn't finish it. So if you want to have somebody else do the work for you and you don't want to build this yourself, which you could very, very easily do, for 35 bucks, this would be an awesome thing to take home and finish. So stain it, paint it, whatever, turn it into anything you want, but somebody else did the hard work of building it and you just get to finish it. So those are fun ones too. Look for stuff like that. Nice, solid, pretty hutch, a little outdated, but super easy to change. So if I had to go find a hutch, I'd pick this little sucker up. I'd take off some of this crazy hardware and maybe even some of this old crisscross bronze stuff, take that piece off, sand it, change out some of this hardware on the bottom, sand it down a little bit, maybe even add a second color to it, and make something from, I'd say, like the 70s, a little bit more modern. So lots of fun things to do with kind of remodeling some of these older pieces that are still really good quality. So, all right, so do not forget your tools or building materials or building tools. Another great place to get your band saws and little odds and ends like this, besides these kind of stores, is also at a pawn shop, especially in the dead of winter. They may need a little bit of work and a little bit of repair, but trust me, for 50 bucks on this bandsaw right here, it's worth trying to get going. So don't forget your tools that you need to actually build with and or even craft with, or some of your smaller tools. So Habitat restores and pawn shops, great place to buy building tools. Okay, so don't forget, even the Habitat restores have sales too. So if you want to be super, super frugal, call them up or find out what they got going on, because even with as low as they go on some of their prices, certain times they're going to go even lower. So here's another great one that this Habitat in particular just came up with. They are recycling paint, and this comes out of a company based out of Colorado, and I don't know if there's very many other states or companies by law that are actually doing this. But you know, paint has gone up to 30 bucks a gallon depending on where you're buying it. So if you can't afford even paint for your projects or your remodels, you know, hunt around and see, because I didn't realize that people that are not finishing up their cans of paint and have no place to store it are actually returning it to the stores that they bought it from, in lieu of having to recycle it themselves, and then those stores are collecting it and giving it to this other company. So I think what they're talking about is 75% less than what you'd pay for a regular paint color or a gallon paint. And then if you know you possibly don't have the exact color you want, you might be able to take it to a hardware store and have them change the color out for you and match it out. So again, your paint color choices might be, you know, not so extensive as if you were picking it out of a color chart, but for that price, for what they have right now, 16 bucks for a gallon of a good quality interior or exterior paint, you cannot beat that. So if you're not going to be too picky about your colors, or you think you can have somebody change that color up a little bit for you, this is a great way to buy paint. So try and find that, and it's called Green Sheen. I guess. So look it up and see if you can find it somewhere. But here in the Rockies, like I said, this gets brought in all the way from Colorado, and it's a heck of a deal. So paint's just getting more and more expensive. This is a great way to beat that. So let's get started. Subscribe to the Susie Homesteader channel, and we'll see you there. Bye-bye.